Hedgerowshire Limited Broadcasting Megacorp.
So one thing I've been wondering about, I have everything covered, except for the music. Romantic music, that's my question. Do we want it to be that really sexy sort of stuff? You know, like that one song that starts out with a wah-wah pedal, you know, and it goes wah-wah-wah-wah, wah-wah. And then it segues into the really sort of sexy kind of. But I don't know if we should be that obvious, or if the Duke would prefer something a bit more subtle. If you have any suggestions, please, put them in the comments and make it timely so that I can get them before that part of date night. Thank you very much.
The Duchess Show.
Maybe it's got some sort of a sweat thing.
Starring
The forces that are real heavy through the jowl.
the Duchess of Hedgerowshire.
This person, the image, there is a U in comment, and I turn around.
The Duchess Show is filmed before a well-behaved studio audience.
Through the old heat and into the George remains. Like there was a six-step for a top of oil on top of the belt on his head. If that me to turn into Godzilla. And I'm singing along and dancing in my chair. Oh, Mickey, you're so fat you do. My name Mickey. I was just drinking heavily. It's almost 11 now. Hello. I can't tell you how crazy things are around the castle today. Tomorrow is a Valentine's Day, and there is a long tradition going all the way back to 1975 that the servants have the night off on Valentine's Day, and then they have a party here in the castle. So they've been decorating, and I'm in charge. So what I've been doing is very efficiently and with great determination, I've been delegating all the duties. So I've had the housemaids have been hanging up doilies. They've been placing these gorgeous little heart-shaped glowing gems and other different artifacts all around the castle. So it would be very festive and extremely romantic looking. Now, of course, the Duke and I intend to make ourselves scarce that night, so that the servants can really enjoy themselves, really relax. Not have to worry about what the Duke and Duchess are up to. So, I have someone coming to do my hair tomorrow. And they're going to curl it up in all those nice, crispy, bouncy, fat little curls that the Duke is just crazy about. And then there's a young woman coming to do my nails, a manicure. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that just yet. But we'll see how that goes. At any rate, the Duke and I are having a date night. So I have all this to do tomorrow, as well as getting dressed and putting on some makeup, lipstick, perfume, all those other items that I have to keep track of. Going about my duties of my job. It would be so much easier to get so much more done if only the footman ring the house. But the problem is, ever since the Duke got that go-kart for his birthday, he's been very keen on it. So he went ahead and bought go-karts for the footmen. And what they have done now is they have gone out and shoveled all the snow from the surface of the frozen pond in the summer Hippo enclosure. And now they're out there racing their go-kart on the ice, which could possibly be dangerous, I'm not really sure, but the good thing is, it's keeping the Duke out of the house. Because right now, he's been getting on my nerves just a little bit. Season 8 of Game of Thrones. He's very enthusiastic about it, as he tends to be with certain very popular things. Now, I have read the books, so when it comes to the show, whatever happens in Season 8 is just more foolishness. Another season of just utter nonsensical whatever it is that the show has become. So literally, I do not care. No, not even remotely. But I have to pretend to be enthused, because that makes the Duke happy. And that's my job as the Duchess, to make the Duke happy. So, what I would like to do now is a bit of a book review. You know how I feel about it. So we have the most wonderful book today. I think you'll all enjoy reading this one. Henry Hobson Richardson and His Works. Written by Mariana Griswold Van Rensselaer. Now, it is not only the story of H.H. Richardson, but also it tells detailed information on all of his major projects. Not only that, there's much more. Floor plans and photos are included, as well as introductory sketches for the plan. So, it makes for some very compelling reading, and I have enjoyed it so much. I haven't quite finished it, but I am going to give this one 5 stars, and I recommend it highly. I have heard that there are some people out there who do not enjoy reading books of architecture, even the ones that include floor plans. How this could be is a complete mystery to me. If you have not read an architecture book, I think you should try one. You may end up really enjoying it. So go ahead, branch out, try something new. Read a book on architecture. You won't regret it. Now, the curious thing is, now this is one that I have not started yet, but this was a gift from the Duke, a pre-Valentine gift. It is titled Thrones of Desire. It is a short story collection, and it is subtitled Erotic Tales of Swords, Mist, and Fire. So, I imagine this is going to be some very steamy sort of stuff. Not the sort of thing I genuinely read, and I don't imagine there's going to be any floor plans included. But I will be reading some. So the main question of this book is, yes, indeed, who is intended to read it? Am I supposed to read it tomorrow night after our date? Who's the Duke supposed to read it? That's the thing, I don't really know, but don't worry. Whoever ends up reading this, the other one can read this. So there we will both have 2 fantastic books to read on our Valentine's romantic interlude. We're all set as far as literature for the special holiday celebration. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I know that the Duke is too. So, I have a lot to do. I probably should go do it. And I'll get back with you, give you updates on all the Valentine's Day happenings.
Well, as you can see, I am in mid-prep for the Valentine's date with the Duke. We have 2 occasions each year where he takes me out to dinner. And it's not that he's a boring person or that he's cheap, no. He's a homebody, and he loves the castle. We all love the castle. We don't like to leave the Duchy, but unfortunately there are no 5-star restaurants here yet. Once we get a Canadian ambassador, I am sure we will have a very high-quality restaurant following soon afterwards. But for now, we're leaving, and I have had people in to do things like twist my hair around these curls, and I had a manicurist in earlier. We had quite a long conversation about the merits of gel nails versus the natural nails that just grow out of one's fingertips, and I won. So, nothing claw-like on me today. Then I would have to have my face done, but obviously nothing can be done with that until after the rollers come out. I have everything here prepared, though. So, as you can see, I have the rubies that the Duke gave me many years ago, my smoking gloves, and one thing that's surefire with the Duke every time, the red lace panties to go with the dress, and some perfume. I have not yet decided which one, but it will be whatever I decide is the most romantic smelling. Quite likely the peony. That's very romantic. So, there we go. I've already decided what perfume to use. You've been so helpful to me, and it's been such a hectic week, what with beginning to film season 2 and all. I've had a very hard time trying to get everything done, but as usual, I've accomplished it all.
The Duchess Show is brought to you by the United Biscuit Company, the makers of Twiglets, and Classic Tips and Sales, and Ona Bloodstock Agency.
Duchy. As you can see, I'm all dressed up and ready for my big date with the Duke tonight. I love Valentine's Day. He's taking me out to a fancy restaurant. It's going to be a surprise. I don't know yet where we're going. I love surprises. So our driver Jerry has gotten the blue bonnet all washed and waxed and shiny and ready for us to go out this evening. I'm wearing my new tiara, even though it contrasts with my red theme for Valentine's Day. I would like to thank my paisan, Michael. It's fabulous. I love it so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, we had an ice storm hit the Duchy this week. It was absolutely crippling. We've been stranded in the castle for 3 days. I was able to get out to the hippo and rhino enclosure today to check on my chubby little friends, and the adversities of the weather have not affected them whatsoever. They're just romping around, playing with their giant ball and sliding down their water slides and having a fabulous time out there. There are some days I wish I could just spend the day with the hippos, but unfortunately, they're rather dangerous animals once they get past their tiny baby stage. But it couldn't happen this week, so we had them sent in. It's rather interesting. First time we've ever had things delivered before, but I think we're going to start doing that on a regular basis. Just like they used to do in the Gatsby movies. The food trucks would roll up. Not food trucks, not like the kind that Duke likes. This would be the grocery delivery people. I always liked that scene in the Gatsby movies. Crates of oranges and lemons. I would love to have crates of lemons delivered to Castle. It would smell so fragrant anyhow. Oh, well, another thing I simply have to do. Since the Duke was so kind to buy me that romantic literature for the holiday, I'll show you these fabulous stockings that I got. He's going to be so surprised when he sees them. I don't normally go in for fancy things like that, but for this one occasion I thought, oh, well, he'll really like looking at my legs. The only problem is getting to the car. We have a good 6 feet of space in between the back door and where they pick me up with the car. So I'm going to have to walk through the cold for several feet before I can get into the car, and I hope the car is warmed up because I suffer from the cold. It's amazing I'm not wearing my furs right now because the castle is really rather difficult to keep heated up. We've been running fires in the fireplaces, we've had the boiler going a full blast, and yet I still wish I could wear furs. Is anyone else experiencing this with their castles? It's really quite unnecessary, and I hope that spring comes soon. I don't like ice. I can't be listening to any journey ballads or something horrible like that. No. Did you know that journey is the last thing you hear before you die? Well, it's true. I learned this from The Sopranos. I know I'm going off topic, which I sometimes do,
but it reminded me of something very important I needed to tell you. According to Bobby Bacala, when you die is when everything goes black. And that was what happened on the show. The moment the audience was killed, everything went black. But the last thing we heard was Journey. So let that be a warning to you. Whenever you hear a Journey song, that the end may be near. It could be the last moment of your life when you hear Journey. So I know I'm a horrible person, but I do draw the line at burning small children at the stake. I don't believe in that. I don't support that in any way, and I would never do it. And I don't want to dress up like a person who does. And another thing is, what is that ruby necklace feel? You put it on and you're fine, and then you take it off, and all of a sudden, it's 300 years later, and your butt is all puckered up and sagging and hideous. That part frightened me so badly. I have not been able to enjoy the show since. So, as you can see,
My idea was corporal punishment in the Dogs of War. But they didn't like that one. I also thought about calling themselves the real safety pins. But they didn't like that one either, and I don't know what's wrong.
Baby Hippos, take 3. Baby Hippos, take... Okay, don't worry about it, we'll edit. This has been a Hedgerowshire Limited Broadcasting Megacorp production.